It's like hoodie weather in the morning, and you can take it off in the afternoon. It's in the 70s, and then eventually put it back on.
A light jacket in the evening.
Yeah, right now
I like that.
Yeah, me too.
More of that on the weekend?
Same old, same old.
Okay, all right.
Well, I guess not really same old, more like same old, recent old. But we are seeing satellite and radar showing a lot of significant rainfall near the immediate coast. Of course, the cloud cover we had today, all associated with this nor'easter. It is that time of the year, folks, where we do typically see some pretty heavy rain with these lows that develop along the immediate coastline. And so the nor'easter is really going to impact mostly the Carolina coast, especially the Outer Banks, with overwash of 3 to 5 feet, winds near 50 miles an hour. In fact, it's already starting to get really aggressive there on the waterways to the Atlantic Ocean. Certainly feeling like it's rocking and rolling, so it's going to get gnarly there near the immediate coastline over the next few days. Moderate impacts for places like Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, down toward Charleston. Remember, of course, the North Carolina coast, because of the way it juts out, typically is at a higher risk of these impacts when there is some kind of low, whether it's a tropical system or non-tropical. When it's this close to the coast, you can expect beach erosion, elevated wave heights, and a high rip current risk. Through tomorrow afternoon and evening, we're looking at 36-mile-an-hour wind gusts in Myrtle Beach. That's close to tropical storm force. We're at or past tropical storm force for places like Wilmington, Ocean Isle, and in fact, places right along the Outer Banks. Look at Hatteras. That's 50 to 55 miles an hour when it comes to some of those peak wind gusts. In fact, this latest model run has a few little areas there flirting with near 60 miles an hour. Even places near Rocky Mount, Fayetteville, which are further inland, could see tropical storm force wind gusts. Here in the Queen City, we're looking at a maximum here of 25 to 30 miles an hour, which is much further away from that, but much breezier than we have been over the last few weeks and months. Saturday and Sunday are the worst, and then conditions will improve by Monday. Now let's look locally here in the Charlotte area. I want us to pay close attention to this timing here, because there will be a few areas of light rain showing up on radar as early as 2 o'clock here in the Piedmont. However, the air near the ground is going to be too dry for this first batch of rain to reach the ground. It will rain from the clouds, and then once that dry air is encountered in the mid to lower levels of the atmosphere, right where we live, it's going to dissipate. This is called Virgo, right? Where it's true rain when it falls from the clouds, but dissipates before it reaches the ground. But after hours and hours of that same light rain moving through that same column of air, eventually the air is going to saturate enough for the rain to reach the ground. And I anticipate that to happen anywhere between 7 to 9 p.m. So most of this will be after sunset. And then the heaviest rain is very early Sunday morning. Notice the timing here, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Early morning church sunrise services will likely still be dealing with some rain, and then things will taper off slowly but surely throughout the day, as of course winds start to taper off as well. Now we know that this nor'easter is not associated with the tropics, but we do still have 2 active areas. Tropical Storm Jerry, not an issue for us, and in fact not an issue for land at all, as it's going to stay east of Bermuda. And then post-tropical storm Karen, that's just hanging out to sea, was never going to impact us and never expected to. So if we were to get another name coming up anytime soon, next name on the list is Lorenzo. We didn't have time to talk about it because there's a lot of stuff going on here over the next few days, but perfect weekend this weekend to head to the mountains to see some leaves. They're going to see much less impacts from that nor'easter, so more sunshine, but still on the cooler side and less wind. Here's that Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. Again, we're breezy the next 2 days, cooler in the morning, mild in the afternoon with temperatures near 70, lots of clouds before we're back near 80, Nick, by mid next week.
All right. Thank you, Brittany.